Clinton's list of excuses to the long process of trying to repeal Obamacare. There have been several controversial but memorable moments in the world of politics this year.
Here to help us break down the top political turkeys of 2017, GOP communications specialist and speechwriter TJ McCormick. TJ, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here on this beautiful Thanksgiving day.
Good to be here.
We're here to talk turkey, but not the traditional kind of turkey that everyone's thinking of.
No,
right?
the political kind, the foot in the mouth kind. Yeah.
Now, let's get right to our very first political top turkey is.
Sure. It is Hillary Clinton.
Oh, no drum roll there?
No drumstick roll. No, Hillary Clinton. You know, she comes out of the woods after spending some time on some sort of self-imposed sabbatical, taking selfies and foraging for nuts and berries. And Hillary comes out, and you would think that she finds some humility in there. She?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me just give it to you in her own words. We have a little clip I think you may appreciate.
Because of the pressures from outside forces, because of the reality TV candidate I was running against, the Comey letter was the proximate cause. The very clear policy of the Republican administration in Wisconsin to shrink the electorate and suppress votes certainly cost me votes.
That list is longer than the side dishes.
She's gonna sit down today and blame the stuffing. She is absolutely unwilling to take any responsibility at all. She had a great opportunity to take some responsibility, show some humility, and humanize herself, and she blew it. The name of her book should be "What Happened to Me." You know.
Now she's not the only one. Who's your next turkey?
Yeah.
You're bipartisan in your turkey picking.
I am bipartisan in my turkey picking, and I believe that the skinny repeal, the tacky terminology of the year, here come the Republicans running for years and years on repeal and replace, and they do neither. And then they come back to us and say, you know, we're going to do a skinny repeal. We're going to give you a gimmick here. We're going to take out some of the stuff and leave you with the rest of the garbage and let this thing collapse under its own weight. And it didn't work. It didn't work. And they have done nothing in an entire year, the Republicans. And they've got the House, the Senate, the White House, and they can't get it done. And so shame on them.
And it just smarted to have even the thin one fail as well.
Yeah,
the extra tap.
And real quick, I want to get one more in, which people may have forgotten, but it is a obscure congressman by the name of Ted. He's your last turkey.
Ted Lieu is this just is so out of touch and terribly tone deaf. Ted Lieu, in the wake of the terrible Texas massacre at the church they're holding a moment of silence on the floor of the Congress, and he leaves. He gets up and he walks out of a moment of silence, not because he's overcome with emotion or because he suddenly doesn't feel well. He steps out to do a Facebook Live. He goes out to do a social media. In this day and age of me, usually the one thing that brings us together is coming together after a tragedy. But this guy gets up and goes out and he makes a posting about how stricter gun laws are going to end these moments, which, hey, that may or may not happen. But you know what? It can wait. Take a moment.
Well,
it's not about you.
What won't wait is a commercial break that we've got coming up. TJ, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for bringing your turkeys to us.
Great news. She likes you. She really likes you. She being the lefty comic Sarah Silverman, and you evil Trump voters. Yes, after so much hate and bile, she finally realized you people aren't so bad. In fact, you might even be people. I guess she'll let you live. In a new show, Sarah travels the country interviewing rubes who don't live near Whole Foods. It's like Wild Kingdom for gender studies majors. And now she claims after meeting so many Trump voters, she likes them. She loves them. Yes, what a surprise. You can feel comfortable around people who you don't agree with. So this is progress for a progressive, especially one who called for a military overthrow of Trump, a coup, while actual riots were going on. Imagine if anyone had listened. So this is a big step. For progressive, the personal is always political, where the right isn't just wrong, but evil. So good for Sarah for deciding that you're okay. You've met the approval of someone paid to talk to you. She appreciates you the way a cat appreciates yarn. Will her new enlightenment hold? I don't know. I remember how Sarah ridiculed Andrew Breitbart, not to his face, but when she took his seat after he left the set on Bill Maher's show.
How are you?
Sticky here.
Yeah, well, there was... in general.
Yeah, right. You're not just saying the conservative.
Yeah, that was classy. She was nice to him in the green room, but then did that when he's not around. But it proves her point. It's easy to be a jerk to someone when they're not there. Wrapped in a cocoon of confirmation bias, it's easy to hate millions of people and over time for them to hate you back. But I hope that Sarah's changed. Truly, anything would be an improvement. I'm going to be positive about this, Kimberly. I think that maybe she's
positive. Okay.
No, maybe she's woke, as the left says. That she realizes that just because you have a disagreement doesn't make them evil.
Okay, well, this is why people have to have an open mind and actually listen to others, their viewpoints, and try to understand and find common ground instead of being, discriminating and having biases against other individuals that you're not even taking the time to listen to. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, hope springs eternal. Who knows? But at least maybe it's an example to some people that they might want to reconsider. Just like all the people that were horrific, to the women that accused Bill Clinton that are now coming out and saying, oh, wait a second, we want to apologize for that. We were wrong with what we did.
Dana, we were going to show a clip of this, but we weren't allowed to get we weren't able to get approval
From Hulu?
for it. From I don't know who. Yeah,
Silverman Inc.
Yeah, Vulture. I think it's called Vulture. I don't know what that means. Anyway, do you think she's sincere or is she just doing a job?
Well, I read a feature story about her several months ago as she was getting ready, as she got this series underway, and she talked about what she hoped to achieve in it. And it's really not. It isn't that easy to publicly admit that you were wrong.
Yeah.
Or that you have some work to do, or that you have to go out. And so perhaps it is sincere. But I also think, she's supposedly a comedian. So one of the best ways to have relationships with people that maybe you don't agree with is through humor.
True.
And just laugh about it. Politics is really not that important.
It should be. Actually, that's a great point.
Thank you.
And you seem surprised.
No, I am surprised.
Did you see that? He was like, whoa.
Yeah,
She usually saves her great points for the earlier
Costello.
show, the show with her name on it.
Oh,
we get the leftovers. We get the turkey sandwiches. We don't get the turkey.
I know the feeling.
Brian. But the point is, if politics takes a large part of your life, then you can be very angry. You have a lot of hobbies, or so you play soccer with kids. You coach. So, but Fox and Friends is only a tiny part of your life.
Do I have to agree with your premise? I don't even like the, did you even ask a question? First, I have to disclaimer. He knows nothing about me. Okay? I don't even, when he sees me in the green room, he walks the other way.
Did you hear what he said about your hair machine in your office the other night? It was like nuts.
I did not know that. I got to get that DVR.
I get all my information from Ducey.
Right.
Thanks for watching, though. That's twice.
That's good. By the way, I got to go to Blockbuster to get the episode. Which day was it? It will be fantastic. By the way, she goes on to say in this story where she says, we haven't changed each other's minds, but I like these Trump people. I think it's a business decision. When asked about Trump, we're waiting for him to hit bottom. There is no bottom. He doesn't understand what happiness is. If he isn't ruining people's lives and destroying the planet, my heart would break for him. He's a damaged person. I don't see much conversion here or much open-mindedness.
But I like you. I like the people that voted for you.
And he's far happier than she has any idea.
Do you think
he's very happy.
He's very happy.
He doesn't have a care in the world.
He has a good time. He's got a nice family.
Here's my
loves his
cynical
grandkids.
observation. She called for a military overthrow of Donald Trump. And I think she's seeing that her career is kind of like going down. And she realizes maybe alienating half of the country is a bad idea.
Wow, I didn't get that at all. In fact, I think she's been around in recent days promoting this new show.
Yes.
And having some success promoting. I don't know how well the show does, but no, I don't have that impression at all. This is more like Thanksgiving dinner to me.
Yeah.
This is like, Uncle Joe walks in with the Make America Great Again hat.
Right.
And so am I supposed to just be mocking? Should I be like, I can't stand this guy or whatever? And then turns out, hey, Joe's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
We just have some serious political disagreement. And let me tell you, I think you can have serious political fear even of Donald Trump and his presidency. But the idea that you would talk to them, this is what we were discussing earlier. This is a good thing.
I think it's a good thing, but it's a good thing when you're not paid to do it. And it's like, so now she's doing it because she's got a salary. She wouldn't have done this before.
She sees Kathy Griffin, and Kathy Griffin was one of the hottest comedians around, and now she's so angry. Yeah, she is so angry she can't get on CNN. She's yelling at Andy Cohen.
But the funny thing is, she's claiming that Hollywood is blacklisting her over Trump. Excuse me, Hollywood hates Trump. I'm sure.
How does that make sense, Greg?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make it. I think she's just whining because. Was she on Bravo?
Yeah,
Bravo.
yeah.
I mean, she wasn't like the biggest comedian. She was a train wreck.
Right.
By the way,
she was successful.
By the way, you know, she was doing this tour with Frank Rich, who used to write for
Yes.
the Times and writes for New York Magazine. So it's not as if Frank Rich, I don't think Frank Rich is a Trump fan.
Hates him.
Right. So my impression is this was her speaking from the heart. And I would think that from your perspective, I know you're glad to have Hillary around, glad to play identity politics, grievance politics, resentment. But I mean, goodness gracious, give the lady some credit.
I have a prediction.
She's one of the 3 people that blocked me on Twitter.
Who?
Alec Baldwin, Keith Olbermann, and Sarah Silverman blocked me on Twitter. That is like having 3 little medals. Medals.
Yeah, it's 3
Look at
states.
how
them little
excited
medals.
you are.
But I do think it's going to boomerang. I think the anti-Trump stuff is getting so staid. I look for things to change. When you invite me back next year at this time, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we're going to talk about how people are taking on the Democratic Party on stage.
Oh, yeah? Or is that after we discuss the impeachment?
By the way, South Park does not do any bashing on Trump because they say it's just so predictable and hackneyed.